Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment is being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where professionals and entrepreneurs go to grow their business and leave a legacy. On this particular episode, it's another edition of our real estate market update from across the country and abroad. And joining me on the call today is Vicki Mahanna Campbell. She's a broker salesperson in Las Vegas. She also coaches other real estate professionals. Vicki, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.
So we're visiting Las Vegas, Nevada today. Vicki, tell us a little bit about your particular practice and the type of folks that you specialize in helping.
Well, I've been in the business 18 years, started in San Diego, California, and have been here about 5 years. So I work with sellers and buyers, and I'm particularly focusing on coaching brand new agents and also people that have been in the business for maybe a couple of years and need some help. And then also people that have been in the business a while and need kind of like a reset. So my broker has a program, Elite Advantage program, 9 weeks. And that, I'll tell you, I learned some stuff on the way that I'm like, oh. So it's a great program. It kind of takes you from step 1 to step 9 and how to get quick business and all the other stuff in between. So that's my focus right now is coaching. But again, I do my own business as well.
Right on. So the question on most people's minds today, the pandemic, how has this affected real estate in your particular area around Las Vegas?
Well, here's what I see as, first of all, if there's tenants in your property, that's a big no-no. You just can't do that. When unoccupied properties where the seller's still not in there, that's kind of the best. You can do a digital open house, which I've done quite a few of those. And what I'm planning on doing actually is my broker's given me the go-ahead to go ahead and all the listings that we've got on the market. I said, I do videos all the time, Mark. And I'm willing to do videos on every single vacant property that my brokerage has. And he's like, do it, Vicki, do it. Because I know there's a lot of people won't. And, I came from being an elected official in, one of my jobs a while ago. And I'm pretty comfortable on video and stuff. Even if you make a mistake, Mark, even you drop a paper or whatever. So I just make sure that I've got my information. And if I screw up, it's just like, oops, there you go. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. So I think so the digital marketing, especially when it's empty, and it's a tight, I do an update every Wednesday, Mark, and I get the listings from Altos Research or the information. And what I do is, and I put it on Facebook that I'm going to do it and then I reach out to 50 of my people. And a lot of them are from California because the prices there are crazy versus our prices here. So I click into 50 people and say, first of all, I kind of tease it just like a promo on a TV program, either the day before or several hours before and say, hey, remember, I'm going to do my update on Las Vegas condos and single family homes Wednesday at whatever, because I get my report every Wednesday. And then when I go Facebook Live, then, the people already know because I clicked into it prior to that. And then they start coming on. And most of my business is coming from California. Frankly,
wow.
It just is. And because everybody knew me there.
Wow. So. And to your point, we have an expression that it's not the market, it's the marketing. And the interesting thing about this pandemic is it's really brought to life the importance of video and now more than ever.
Of course.
So, Vicki, tell us, for folks that are, on the fence about real estate today, but it's been on their mind, they're considering buying or selling in your market, what would you say is the most important thing they need to consider today more than ever?
Well, I tell you what, Mark, every week, I give them this update. And for example, most of the condos in Las Vegas are kind of on a slight seller's market. And then on the single family homes, they're a little stronger seller's market. we've got more buyers than sellers. But, you know, to kind of balance that, Mark, here's the deal. The interest rates are so amazing that I got a call from one of my classmates from my hometown in Devils Lake, North Dakota, that her son-in-law or stepson wants to buy. And they heard, well, I'm sure she's watched my videos, mind you, because that's the whole idea. I said, listen, you're probably in a multiple counter offer situation when you're buying, depending on your price point. But the interest rates are so good, so amazing, that I think people will get off the fence because of that. And you also need an agent that has been in the market for a while, that understands when you're doing a multiple counteroffer situation. And I've talked about it on my video. Get an agent that knows how to do it. Make sure that if you don't need a home warranty, or you can buy your own, make it as clean as possible. You know, don't be asking the seller for so many things, because the cleaner the offer, the better chance you have to get it accepted. And that's the tough part, because they're like, well, I need this or this. Well, I said, let's go. You and how many others are going to want to put in an offer? You know, do the best you can, and then we'll work backwards from there. But if you can come in as clean as possible, Mark, that's your better answer. It is.
Right on. That's sage advice, Vicki. So tell us you have a ton of experience and knowledge in your area. So tell us a little bit about how you got your start. You had quite a journey. How'd you get started in real estate, and what inspired you?
Well, I got in real estate in 2003 in California, in San Diego particularly. And I think I was working for a company that on the commercial side, kind of real estate, and then on the residential side, and they phased everybody out. And, you know, and I was the last of the 100 to come in. So I was the first 100 to go out, right? And what happened was they gave us, all of us people that got that happened to, they gave us like some extra money so that we could go pursue real estate. And that's exactly what I did. I wasn't a realtor at the time. And I went and I decided I was going to do it. And, you know, I'd worked for the corporate, I worked for, you know, a state assembly. I worked for, you know, the county in my home state. And I just said, why not real estate? My husband and I had bought and sold many times. And it just seemed like the right time. And I love real estate. I mean, we would buy investment properties, and it was kind of nice that you get paid for your own property instead of somebody else. So that's partly why, but I love it. And I love the process. And because of my background, banking in the court system, state assembly in California, and then I worked for the Police Officers Association in San Diego. So everything was structured, and I'm kind of structured. So know the contract, know your business, know all the disclosures, protect your client. It's all as simple as that. Or maybe it's not that simple, but it was simple enough for me.
Fantastic. And Vicki, I know that you're coaching other real estate agents as well. So for folks that are on this call, whether they're a buyer, a seller, maybe another, you know, somebody that wants to get into real estate and needs a coach, how can folks connect with you if they've been considering the Las Vegas area, or can connect with you in any way you might be able to help them? How do they reach you?
I made my way back when I went through ePro with Saul Klein that's in San Diego. So I have my Vicki at Vicki Campbell, keep out the Mahanna, but Vicki at VickiCampbell.com, easy to find. And I'm at 702-350-3511. So Vicki at VickiCampbell.com, 702-350-3511.
And do you have a book, Vicki? Plug your book if you've got one.
Oh, I do. Actually, hang on a second. Let me grab it.
Sure, absolutely. And while she's doing that, I'll mention that this segment is being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com, and this is the great way to get knowledge and meet someone. So Vicki, by all means, if you have your book, definitely give it a plug.
Okay, so I have, oh, sorry, Mark, I've got a couple of books that I've invested in, which I thought were helpful. Here's one, For Sale by Owner.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. And I have a supply of them if somebody wants it. So, you know, if they contact me, I'll definitely sell it, or not sell it to you, but send it to them. And then also expired. I've got a couple of other ones too. But these are just easy reading, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
And the nice part about it is it's got tips and then how to sell any. I've got a couple others too. But you know what? There's just some simple tips that you can do in order to do your business. And I also, even from a coaching standpoint or from a buyer or seller standpoint, Mark, my job is to educate. I want an informed seller. I want an informed buyer. So what I do, especially for the buyers, and I was just talking to a new buyer yesterday, I said, I do like what I call real estate 101. What I'll do is I'll print off the MLS sheet, and especially if they've never purchased before, or it's been a while since they purchased. And then I go line by line. What is this? Market time, empty. What does that mean? Days on the market, and you know, I go through how long it's been on the market, which is on the bottom. So I go through the whole thing. Oh, there is CC&Rs. What does that mean? Here's the square footage. Is it a 1-story or a 2-story? So I really go through that. And then also what I do, because I found it really helpful, because again, I want to take the scariness out of all of it. I will print out a full-on contract with all the disclosures, starting with consent to act and all of the other, you know, in the purchase contract, which is RPA, and all the other disclosures. I'll go through it line by line. This little real estate 101 for me is, you know, again, the MLS, and I'll go through the contract. What about this? See, now if we're in this market, here's what we'll look at this. Here's your purchase amount. Here's your down payment. Here's what your financing is. And then as you go through the contract, what does this mean? You've got so many days to do your due diligence, which is your inspection, whatever. And if you're buying in Pahrump, Mark, you're doing a well inspection, a sewer inspection, the regular inspection. And if you're buying in Pahrump, that's because I've closed on a manufactured home. That was wow.
Mm-hmm.
But that's definitely an education. So I try to educate them before we even start, because I really don't want to. And now it's even harder. You know, I used to go face to face on a first contract that we'd write. Now I will do a Zoom with them and go through line by line, because I don't want to just send over a DocuSign or AuthentiSign, which is what our online is. And then people go, I didn't hear what you said. I said, you didn't tell me that. Well, listen, I'm going to tell them ahead of time so that when we do it again, or if it's again or again until we finally, you know, get that house under contract, that they have a comfort level. And I always tell them it's kind of like having a second job. You know, buying a house is like having a second job for maybe a month and a half or two, whatever time it takes.
You've got a lot of great resources that'll really help your clients, you know, make an informed decision with your books and all that. Kindly give out your website again and your phone number.
Okay. VickiSellsLasVegas.com is my website, and 702-350-3511. 702-350-3511. You know, I find it interesting that I still pick up the phone, because when I like to talk to people, but I think maybe that's because I've been an elected official, that I like that. I like that talking, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I like the face-to-face, and it's harder now, but I like talking to people. If I had somebody, they go, you like to talk, don't you? You like to I said, listen, you send me a text, I want to talk to you. Because especially if I'm going in on an offer for my buyer, I want to talk to that agent. How long have you been in the business? Do you have any other offers? Is there anything special I need to know about this? I want that before I start, before I even start that contract with my buyer, because that gives me information to work from, and then it'll be easier for me to address things that, you know, after being in the business for a while, you go, I need to work on that. This might be, you know, something I need to pay attention to, which
I really appreciate your time, Vicki. This has been sage advice for all our listeners. So definitely talk to Vicki, have her on your side. You can tell she's going to be really on your side and has a lot of information for you. Vicki, I really appreciate you sharing with my listeners today, and I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Mark, thank you so much. I appreciate you reaching out, and let's come on and buy some stuff or sell some stuff in Las Vegas.
That sounds terrific. That's all for now. This segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com, the place where professionals and entrepreneurs go to grow their businesses and to leave a legacy. So if you're an entrepreneur looking to publish your first book and could use help, or your next book with a 60 to 90-day quick process, visit booksgrowbusiness.com. Until next time, on my next Expert Spotlight, take care, everybody. I'm Mark Imperial.